This is model 2 of our holiday sex education challenge. And this moment, I'm going to be talking about something very important and dear to my heart. And that is the 4 pillars of effective sex education at home. And this time, I'm starting with the first pillar or foundation of effective sex education at home, and that is parental connection or healthy parental connection. You see, the Bible says if the foundation is destroyed, what can the righteous do? If the foundation of effective parental connection is destroyed at home, then there is nothing a parent can actually do in the relationship. I always say a connecting parent is a sex wise parent. Now, the foundation of effective sex education, I kid you not, is healthy parental connection. Now, parenting is a relationship. Parenting is not any kind of job. It's not like any other kind of job. Parenting is a relationship. It's a relationship between the parent and the child. But when it comes to this relationship, building it is the responsibility of the parent. Now, just like any other relationship you may be aware of, communication is the fuel. Communication is the life of every relationship. But you see, for communication to really be effective in any relationship, it must be two-way. So for the parental relationship to be effective in your home, it must be two. The communication rather must be two-way between you and the child. In other words, in your home, the voice of the child must really, really matter. Now, your presence does not necessarily mean that you are present. Remember, I said for the relationship to be built, it is the responsibility of the parent because parenting is about you. It's not the responsibility of a child to work out the relationship between them and their parents. It's the responsibility of the parent. That you're always present doesn't mean that you are really present. You must be intentional about being present in the life of your child. Now, what will healthy parental relationship do for you in sex education? It will enable you to take advantage of ad hoc opportunities. I call them ad hoc opportunities. Opportunities that you didn't plan for. Opportunities that were not deliberate. Opportunities to speak, to teach, to guide, and to correct the child. Okay, so like you're watching something together in a movie, then something comes up, and then you take advantage. That's what I call ad hoc opportunities. You didn't actually plan it. Something happens in the movie scene, and then a question comes up from your child, and say, why are these people living together when they are not married? That's ad hoc opportunity. You take advantage of it because you were deliberate to do something together just to build the relationship you have with your child. Number 2, it encourages openness. When there is a smooth connection between the parent and the child will be free. The child will be open to speak their minds, to say anything. When a child knows that their voice is always heard by their parents, they will always speak. They will always express their thoughts. They will always express what is in their mind. And that's really very important in your parenting journey. To be in the minds of your children, to know what's in the secret files of your children. Number 3, it builds trust. And trust is what do they call it now? Trust is the currency of healthy relationship. You see, somebody said that a lot of the things her parents told her, she said it in our community on Facebook, a lot of the things her parents told her about love, sex, and relationship were things she didn't agree with at the time because she didn't understand it and it wasn't aligning with what her mates were doing at the time. But you see, she had such trust in her parents that she always swallowed everything, hook, line, sinker, fisherman, and boats. She always took in everything and followed their advice, and she's the better for it. But the catch there is that even though she didn't understand it, even though it wasn't, they weren't sharing things that were common to her generation. But because there was this trust which was built as a result of a healthy relationship. She was taking in everything and practicing everything. So when you have a healthy parental connection with your child, that trust is built. The next thing is it helps in guiding and correcting. How will you know what your child is thinking? How will you know the decisions your child is about to make or made in the past? How would you know what their friends are telling them in school or at the playground, on the playground or in church? How would you know what is happening within them if you don't have the time to connect with your child? And finally, it increases the askability quotient of the parents. When your children know that you're always there, totally and fully present, then they will be able to ask you any question. And that means your askability quotient as a parent has increased. Connection is very, very important. If there is anything, you see, you may not even have a structured sex education at home. Like I always tell parents that care to listen, you may not have a structured system at home for having sex conversation. But you see, if you are close to your children, you won't miss any opportunity to teach them. If you have a working relationship with your children, you won't miss any opportunity to know what to say to them. Listen very carefully. One of my children, one of my children, the only way I have access to his heart, or we have access to his heart, is when we are in good terms, when our relationship is smooth and running. When you play with him, when you are interested in what he does, when you just love him, hug him, show him affection, oh my God. It's going to be a sales through. Whatever you want him to do, it just flows. But if you are loggerheads with him, the more you fight him, the more he fights you. That's his personality, that's his temperament. But that is the same way with every child. Look, there are three reactions children have towards parents, towards a fighting parent. It's either they fly, it's either flight, they run away, the zone out of you, and yes, they will do everything you want them to do, but they are zoned out. They don't care. They don't really care. They are just doing all they do because they are under your roof. Then another category of children, what they do is fight. They fight you, fight them, they fight you. And that's what they call rebellion. So you need to understand the child that you're raising. Well, you see, whether they are in the flight category or in the fight category, one thing works for every category of child. That's connection. Dear parents, you can't really affect or influence a child you're not connected to. It's a principle. Love them. Love them. Let them feel loved. Let them feel accepted. And when they come into your heart, then you pour out your values and they will receive it wholeheartedly. Now in your worksheet, you're going to rate yourself according to your present condition. How is your connection? What's your connection status with your children? You're going to rate yourself, right? And then when you rate yourself, then put in a structure or a system of connection. Right in the worksheet, there is a calendar that you can reproduce over the month. Every month, fill in the calendar with activities that will help you connect with your children. Watching movies, playing board games, playing a football game, asking them questions, having an interactive section, anything at all that you know that your child loves to do, that you can do with them to strengthen that relationship. When you do that, my dear, sex education is already a walk in the park. See you.